vid is about a recent, not earthquake, but volcanism and a tsunami. Now I'm going to point out something. This is an American-centric video. Sorry about this, but I got to do this. I am over here. This is the very large Pacific plate here. Here are the plate boundaries. Usually, they're actually different things than what you're looking at here. We're going to do that in a minute. But this is where the tsunami happened, and also very near where the volcano caused it. I'll be getting to that in a minute, but the point is, I'm going to point out some things here. There is no coupling between what happens in that spot and anywhere else on the planet for many, many reasons. People on YouTube and on the internet will now start spreading the ideas that if you see one thing happen, there will be a chain reaction. Even if there's no pattern, people see patterns where they don't exist. There is a decoupling between that location and many, many others simply because they're not mechanically connected, number one. Number two, the Earth has multiple layers to it, so a reaction or action on one side of the planet does not necessarily propagate anywhere else. Next, this is not plate tectonics, which is what causes earthquakes in the most direct sense. This is volcanism, which is a uplifting of material from within the Earth due to heat and a focusing point on the planet caused by lava. So let's get on to the next image. This is how people classically view the world when we deal with human-centric stuff. And here are the different trenches and tectonic plate edges. I'm in Portland, so I'm dealing with a plate over here that's a leftover from a previous primordial plate called the Farallon plate. But you get the idea. Now, that area over there is on this chunk of rock that's decoupled through Indo-Australian plate. There's Indonesian. And then we have the Hawaiian hotspot, which is like a blowtorch underneath this big plate called the Pacific plate. We also have a piece of this plate here called the Cosco's plate and the Juan de Fuca plate up in here that are being just jammed underneath North America. But this is how we view things, because humans live above water and we don't think about this. The entire Pacific Ocean has this plate. So how should we view this if we want to understand it? This is how the world is actually physically put together. Period. Full stop. The Eurasian plate is enormous. The North American plate are enormous. You can see the impact points here causing these islands, for instance. Juan de Fuca plate here is a piece of the Farallon plate along with the Cosco's plate that has been jammed under North America. The Caribbean plate is its own plate. The South American plate is literally half of the ocean, and Scoida plate is a little piece here. The Nazca plate is here. This is literally the Pacific plate, and here is the Australia. You basically see these things pop up where these are running into each other. This Pacific plate is 1 or more degrees of separation, obviously more, from anything happening in this area. Now, I wanted to point that out, that an earthquake anywhere over here doesn't have the ability to cause anything, and this is the thing where I'm at. The North American plate has to interact with the Juan de Fuca plate primarily, or we don't even have the ability to feel it because this acts like a big rubber bumper. Same thing with the Cosco's plate. That's why you get earthquakes from here all the way up to Oregon, or Washington almost, and then you get a repeat up here, but you'll get a dead space here, or vice versa. This ability for these plates to act as a transceiver of material movement, of shock waves, of disruption, is what people assume is going to cause a propagation of quakes and violence. But you notice the hot spot here in Hawaii is right here simply because there is an uplift of hot lava there. There are lots of islands out here, but they're all volcanic based, not caused by being on ridges. And some of these are separating from each other, which actually cause lavas to come up. So you should get islands or something like that. It just simply builds the ocean bottom because it hits water and cools. Okay, next. December 22nd, 1403 minutes, 1400 hours and 3 minutes GMT, Anak, or Child of Krakatau. Krakatoa's southwest landslide from an earthquake, or not earthquake, but from an eruption, caused a 1400 hours and 27 minute GMT Sunda Strait tsunami. That is a pinch point where the tsunami could gain altitude, or height, excuse me. It happened at night, and it was at high tide apparently. There were no early warnings from Indonesia's tsunami warning system because it's made for detection of earthquakes first, then tsunami behavior, not volcanic tsunamis, which do not have the ability to be detected in the same way. Because the P and S waves, or whatever it is, from an earthquake are very different. This is tectonics versus volcanism. They're very different. And volcanism is something you'd have to study separately. Tectonics is pretty simple. Look for convergence or grinding points or separator points. Separator points are generally fairly calm. A map will show many land masses in the path of any wave, so there is no water wave problem. Tectonic plates in the way of supposed quake propagation decouple the areas from each other. If you're worried about this being a danger, you're literally dealing with an area of the Earth that has enough plate tectonic boundaries, and in some cases pieces of them intersecting and wrapping around each other, that it would definitely decouple anything to happen anywhere else. Next, very importantly, you have to look at the world without water and without humans being the centric point and figure out what would or could happen. That's why I'm bringing up this video. I hope this video has been useful to you. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And please pay attention to the news. Do not pay attention to YouTubers that are trying to scare you. Good day.